Congrats, Frankie. And do you use one of those retractable leashes for your dogs?
Yeah, when we come back, we'll tell you why those leashes have benefits, but they can also have some negative aspects. Stay with us.
Color 10 News Daybreak.
All right, welcome back. It is now 44 minutes past the hour. Misti Fry with Sidekick Dog Training joining us once again this morning. We're talking about these retractable leashes. We see a lot of pet owners with these leashes. They can be good and they can be bad sometimes, just depending probably on the type of dog you have and their behavior, I would think.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Sometimes I have a love-hate relationship with these. As you can see, mine are well used.
Yes.
Sometimes I feel like I put myself in over my head, but because there's a lot of line here.
Right.
The retractable leashes have a thin line and that goes in and out.
Okay.
And you can lock it if you want to, but you've got this big bulky handle and stuff that you're dealing with.
And the lock sometimes, it can kind of get, held up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Especially depending on how fast the dog's going, which is one of the things you have to consider when you're considering one of these retractable leashes.
That's right. That's right. I think one of the things that makes me a good dog trainer is I've tried it all.
Yeah.
And I hope some people will learn from my mistakes. But the walking big dogs, or more than one big dog on a flexi, can be dangerous. They can get, a big head of steam.
What, like more than 20 feet away from you,
These are 26 feet long.
Yeah.
I bought the long ones,
That's a
of
long
course.
ways away to be controlling your dog if it comes up to a stranger, right?
Yes, yes. Or if they see a squirrel or a cat and they go, pshoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the things you want to consider, you want to make sure that you have some control over your dog and that they will come back to you and you don't have to depend on the flexi lead.
Right.
A lot of people, one of the things that I see is that they're reeling their dog in. So they like pull the leash back, reel it in, pull it in, reel it, and it's some people are really talented at, shotgunning their dogs.
Doing all of that. Okay. So what are the good things about having these retractable leashes? Is this something that would be good for a child if they were walking the dog, or would you recommend maybe one of these kind of heavy-duty leashes?
I definitely would not recommend having these around kids.
Probably not.
Yeah, and now I've used them around kids. I've had my kids get wrapped in the bike.
Right, you get wrapped around and around and around.
Yeah, like I said, do as I say, not as I do. If you ever see me on the street with bikes and flexis and kids, don't do that.
Don't do that, okay. So if you are considering, are these better for smaller dogs, or if you're going to have to decide between one of these heavy-duty ones?
I see a lot of people with small dogs and these, and I think the same risks apply. When you're...
it's okay. You're all right. We're not giving Kyle enough attention this morning.
Yeah, he's a little anxious.
Sorry.
So when you are doing the flexi lead and the dog, no matter what size, you have to consider that even the small dogs can jerk their neck. So put a harness on them. Can you get up? Kyle's got a harness on, so that if he does get to the end of it, then it's on his body, not on his neck.
Okay. And what about, some people use the choking collars.
Yeah,
that would probably not be good with a retractable leash, right?
No, because if they hit the end of it, those spikes can go right in their neck.
That's not going to be good. We don't want that to happen.
No, we want to be polite with our
Kyle or Betty. Absolutely. Well, hello. We're going to play this morning.
Yes.
Okay, and Kyle is the newest member of your family, correct?
Yeah, Kyle and Betty are about 5 months apart, and they're both kind of puppies. They're not 2 yet. Kyle's the clown of the house. Yes, he is.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's another thing. If I had both of them on a flexi lead right now, I wouldn't have. I barely have control.
That's a good example there, Kyle, to show us as far as the retractable leash works with when they're playing, which is always good things to keep in mind. So if you're walking multiple dogs at once, probably good to have one of these heavy-duty ones on. Yeah. Okay, Kyle is taking the shows away this morning. Kyle, we appreciate you being here. He's all curious about what Chris Smith has to say over there in the weather lab. Kyle wants to know what the weather's going to be like for his walk today. He's asking you.
Well, you know what, Kyle? You know what? I'm going to go over and tell you myself. You know what? Because he apparently he needs attention.
He does. He needs some petting.
Do you want to know what it's like to go outside and walk? You know, it's a little humid outside for a little bit of a walk. I think it'd be pretty nice. What do you say?
Oh,
can I give you a hug?
Yeah, can I get a kiss for my forecast? Can I get a kiss?
Oh, he's like, I don't know.
Apparently it's not that good of a forecast, but I think you'll enjoy the weather a little bit later on this week.